Welcome everybody. We're back with another episode of 8-Minute Webinar. This time with WW. WW was once referred to as Weight Watchers. They've since rebranded, and we'll go into details there. But today I have Betsy Corey and Doug DeSimone joining us. But before we get started, Betsy, why don't you give us a little bit of your background and what you do in your role, and then Doug, do the same, and then we'll jump into the company.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. So my name is Betsy Corey. I'm our Senior Manager of Strategic Talent Partnerships and Program at WW, and mainly overseeing our internship program and how that works across the board in terms of conversion. And then, of course, our partnerships across the organization, again, in terms of meetups and hackathons and events that we want to participate in, and certainly let people know exactly, what we're doing in terms of tech at WW, but also a way to attract your talent as well.
Doug DeSimone. I am the Director of Talent Acquisition at WW, responsible for pretty much everything but this studio recruiting. So that would be all corporate, engineering, product, and design recruiting, as well as what we call emerging talent. So that would be all of our campus recruiting as well.
Let's go into that a little bit. Tell us a little bit about the types of challenges that the company is solving in today's day, and maybe how that's different than what the original offering was.
The company is over 60 years old, formerly known as Weight Watchers, but now called WW. Essentially a wellness company now, powered by the world's leading sustainable weight loss program. So the mission, you could say now, is to essentially democratize health and wellness around the world. Our WW mobile app and the adoption of that as a supportive application to our members, as well as things like e-commerce transactions.
And tell us about what do entry-level roles and or internship roles look like at WW? What are the job titles, as an example?
In terms of technology, our internship program will offer anything from really iOS, roles to marketing technology intern roles, Android, JavaScript, security, accessibility, and then we also have product roles as well. So it really covers everything between tech, product, and then of course we also have corporate functions, and then of course everything from finance and marketing as well, to data and nutrition. Everything is always posted on WW Careers. All of our internship opportunities, co-op opportunities, and I always like to try to direct everyone to our tech blog as well.
I'm typically encouraging people to leverage their network and use something like LinkedIn to connect with people, Betsy or me directly, but also the engineers themselves that they'd consider working for.
And then are the jobs labeled entry-level, intern? Are they easy to find?
Yeah, so right on our careers page, we actually have things broken down into buckets. And so for internship opportunities, co-op opportunities, there's a bucket that says internships, and you can click on that, and it will take you to every listed role that you could apply to.
And what's the interview process like, soup to nuts?
Yeah, the interview process, from the time that you apply, typically, working with our managers, they'll select, I'd say probably in about a week or two time for internships. And then after first round, we will have typically a second round. And from there, we, usually move forward with an offer.
What's the first thing you all look at on a resume? And do you anticipate that being quite different for a technical resume versus someone that might be applying to a marketing role?
I would say showing is better than telling. Resumes, I've learned not to trust. It's hard to sort of reduce a person to text. Definitely have your LinkedIn profile up to date, and definitely have some links to repositories.
So front and center on the resume, get those kind of portfolio links up there.
The faster they're looking at your code and not at your resume, the better. Not all the best students are in the best schools. So, and the faster you get them away from something like a school and again into your code, I think the better off that candidate is.
But do you find GPA important?
We do have a minimum requirement, to technically apply, right? And there are a few things there, but I don't think that's the leading factor. No.
If you're and I've worked for some big brands that literally get millions of applications a year. And so I think some companies might just take a GPA as just some way to just
Correct.
take a whack at the database and start to
Add a
break
filter.
it down.
What is, just for now, what is the minimum GPA requirement?
3.0.
3.0. And then if somebody's sitting on a 2.8, yeah, have you seen examples of how somebody kind of beat that system?
Going back to what I said about making connections personally, that's sort of what you're left with. Hey, I have a 2.8. This is what I'm passionate about. Here's my GitHub repository. I want to work for this company. I want to work on your team. Here's why you should hire me.
Okay.
And see if you can cut through that noise.
Do you ever look at someone's objective? And if you do, how do you like it written?
I like the personality, and I like to know where they want to go, right? Not so much as restating what's on your resume and the things that you've done, but where you want to be and why that role particularly interests you, or exactly the field that you're going into, why you want to be in there, and what you want to get out of it.
Are they running away from something, or are they running towards something? Mm-hmm. Not that it's going to influence me one way or the other, but I am sort of listening to some of those signals. If you're running away from something, you might not know where you're headed, and you might not make a great move. So anybody in any part of their career, you want to have your story of where are you going with this career? What's a great career opportunity look like? And the more you can kind of articulate that to an interviewer or a company, I think they're attracted to that. It's that forward-looking statement versus the resume, which is the rearview mirror. And you got to have them both kind of dialed up.
Mm-hmm.
When do you look at a cover letter, if ever?
If someone writes it, I do read it.
Okay, cool. That is also a great opportunity to convince someone you're the right fit.
Yes.
What are the physical locations in a kind of pre-post-COVID world where these interns or entry-level roles will be?
Our internship opportunities were really mapped to San Francisco, New York, and Toronto.
What is your recommendation for what someone should wear in an interview with WW, be it online or in person?
I think that we're a pretty relaxed culture and environment, especially in engineering. And so, business casual, I think is certainly appropriate.
Investment bank or a hedge fund, obviously that might not fly.
Where did you all go to school? What was your major?
I went to Liberty University in Lynchburg, Virginia, and I majored in communications.
I went to Binghamton University and ended up with a studio art degree and a business minor somehow, but that's a longer story. Yeah.
Cool. So where for people to learn more, where should they go? The WW Careers?
Yeah, I always drive people really towards WW Careers. Like I said, also like our blog through Medium. I think that's in terms of the tech space, very reflective of what's going on internally. Things that we're sharing. Don't you have anything to add?
Yeah, anybody can reach out to me, and I'd shoot them a Calendly link and jump on a 15-minute exploratory call.
Thank you both so much for your time today, and we'll be in touch.
Anytime. Thanks
for having us.